Hi everyone, it's Helen Hotai here, founder of Form Help, and we are on the smarttraveller.gov.au website, and we are doing a Smart Traveller Advice update for the countries of Mongolia, Seychelles, Mauritius, Turkey, Timor-Leste and New Zealand. So let's get straight into the first one. So as you can see, we are looking at Mongolia, and it was updated on the 21st of March 2022, and it reads, Mongolia has reopened its borders to all travellers. Genghis Khan International Airport remains the only border point that is currently open. All land border crossings will reopen on the 1st of April. You're no longer required to present a negative COVID-19 PCR test to enter Mongolia. However, different requirements may apply depending on embarkation point and airline. Now, you don't need to quarantine on arrival, and all major domestic COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted. Now, this includes limits on opening hours of businesses and social distancing, and the wearing of face masks is still mandatory. Now, the Australian government does advise reconsider your need to travel to Mongolia due to the impacts of COVID-19. And as you can see, the advice levels again, reconsider your need to travel to Mongolia. And there's a note there for you to read. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read. And I will leave links in the description box below. And that is the latest travel update from the Australian government for Mongolia. Next, we'll go to Seychelles. Now, as you can see here, Seychelles, we will see, okay, so it was updated on the 21st of March, and it reads, you must apply for a health travel authorization before arriving in Seychelles. Now, if you're vaccinated, you must provide proof of vaccination, and if you're not fully vaccinated, you must provide evidence of a negative COVID-19 PCR test result taken 72 hours before your travel, or a negative COVID-19 rapid antigen test taken within 24 hours of departure. Now, children under 12 years of age are exempt from this requirement, and if you've had a recent COVID-19 infection between 2 and 12 weeks before your departure, you must provide proof of infection and completion of isolation or recovery, and you must have a valid health insurance to cover COVID-19 related costs. Now, the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution to the Seychelles due to the impacts of COVID-19, and the advice levels again exercise a high degree of caution to the Seychelles. Now, if you continue down below, there is more information there for you to read, but that is the latest travel advice update from the Australian government for Seychelles. Next, we'll go to Mauritius. So this was updated on the 21st of March, and it reads, you must submit the Mauritius all-in-one travel digital form prior to travel with a printed copy to present at immigration at the immigration counter, and if you've been vaccinated, you must provide proof of your vaccination, and if you've had a COVID-19 infection, you must provide documented proof of infection plus further vaccination, and if you're not vaccinated, you must self-isolate for 7 nights in your accommodation, and you must take a COVID-19 test on arrival, and if you test positive to COVID-19 while in Mauritius, you'll be required to isolate for a minimum of 7 days, and you must provide proof of accommodation booking and health insurance which covers COVID-19 treatments. So see the travel information below. And the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in Mauritius due to the impacts of COVID-19, and again the advice levels exercise a high degree of caution. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read, and that is the latest travel update from the Australian government for Mauritius. Next, we'll go to Turkey. So this is updated on the 15th of March, and it's still current as at today, being the 21st of March, and it reads, Turkey has eased some face mask requirements. However, you must still wear a mask in some venues, including schools, hospitals, cinemas, theatres, and on public transport. And some entry requirements have also changed, so see the travel information below. And the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in Turkey overall due to the high threat of terrorist attack. And again, the advice levels: exercise a high degree of caution in Turkey. Do not travel to within 10 kilometers of the border with Syria or to Diyarbakir city. And reconsider your need to travel to the provinces of Batman, Bengal, Bitlis, Diyarbakir province, Gaziantep, Hakkari, Hotai, Kilis, Mardin, Mos, Sanliurfa, Surat, Surnak, Tunchali, and Van. Okay, my apologies for the bad pronunciation, but if you do scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read, and that is the latest travel updates from the Australian government for Turkey. Next we'll go to Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste. Okay, so this was updated on the 14th of March and it's still current as at today being the 21st of March, and it reads: COVID-19 remains a significant health risk. Fully vaccinated travellers can enter Timor-Leste without prior approval, and you must present evidence of a negative COVID-19 PCR test taken 72 hours before departure and proof of full vaccination, 2 doses at check-in. Entry requirements can change with little notice, so if you don't comply with the entry requirements, you'll be subject to 14 days quarantine. On arrival, you'll undergo medical screening and must return a negative COVID-19 test result. And if found to be COVID-19 positive, you'll be quarantined at a location determined by authorities, likely at your own expense. So see the travel information below. And the presidential elections will be held in March 2022 with a possible second round runoff election in April 22. So see the safety information below, and the Australian government does advise reconsider your need to travel to Timor-Leste due to the impacts of COVID-19. And again, reconsider your need to travel. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read, and that is the latest travel updates from the Australian government for Timor-Leste. Last of all, we'll go to New Zealand. New Zealand. Okay, so this was updated on the 17th of March and it's still current as at today being the 21st of March. So from 11:59 p.m. on the 12th of April, fully vaccinated Australian citizens and permanent residents can enter New Zealand without needing to self-isolate or enter Managed Isolation and Quarantine, or MIQ. New Zealand is currently at red as part of its COVID-19 protection framework. So you need to wear a face covering wherever you go. You can visit cafes and bars, attend gatherings and events, and visit close contact businesses like hairdressers with a My Vaccine Pass. Now, some limits like capacity and distancing requirements will apply. Without a My Vaccine Pass, there are more restrictions in place. Workplaces and schools are open. Public health measures are in place, and the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in New Zealand due to the impacts of COVID-19. And again, the advice level is exercise a high degree of caution. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read. And that is the latest travel updates from the Australian government for New Zealand. And that concludes our daily travel advice updates from the Australian government. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's Helen Hotai, founder of Form Help, signing out.